Colin Cowherd's Week 17 Best Bets. Welcome, football fans, grid, iron, gamblers, and all of you degenerates. It's Mitch here with my reaction to none other than Uncle Colin Cowherd's Best Bets for Week 17. My thoughts on whether or not Colin is crazy or correct. Should we fade or follow Colin in Week 17? Let's find out, shall we? Gronk, spike the like button for more Colin Cowherd reactions and get in the comments and let me know if you think Colin is crazy or correct. Are you fading Colin or following Colin in Week 17? Let's go, man. Let's have some fun. Subscribe, jabroni. Let's check it out. Okay, Uncle Colin. Let's see what you got.
All right, Blazing 5, 60% for the year. Feel very, very
60% is good, by the way.
good about it. This week, I didn't do this all year. 4 underdogs. I don't even know why. Underdogs yesterday did well. Here we go.
4 underdogs in Week 17 is crazy. I'm not going to lie. Typically, as the year goes on, favorites tend to cover just from, like, my recollection. I don't know what the stats say, but it does feel that way because the bad get even worse. The good separate themselves, and there's more motivation for the good teams to pound the bad teams into the dirt, and there's more reasoning as to why a bad team might lay an egg because, hey, why not get a better draft pick? Plus, they're sitting players, and they're resting players, and there's less likely a chance that a player goes out there to really perform and put his body on the line because why? Just ask yourself that. So to me, I'd rather play the favorites at this stage in the game, but it obviously depends on the week. It depends on the lines. And I will say that there is some compelling underdogs this week. So let's see where Colin goes with his picks. Like I said, Gronk spike the like button, jabroni. Let me know your thoughts. Pick number 1.
That's a hot one. Let's blaze it up.
Fire it up.
It's Colin's Blazin' 5. Texans and Chargers.
I like the Texans plus 2.5, 7-game winning streak.
Good
They
pick,
clinch a playoff berth with a win. Their only loss by more than 3 points, 1 against Seattle.
Yeah, that was a crazy game too because the defense low-key kind of dominated that game, but the offense was so inept in that game that they just couldn't move the ball consistently enough until like the 4th quarter. But yeah, my favorite stat right now is that the Texans have only allowed more than 21 points twice. So it's kind of hard to lose by more than 3 or 4 when your defense doesn't allow 22 points. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of difficult. I'm with Colin here, though. I think this is an excellent pick. I want to hear his reasoning behind it. It's probably a lot to do with the defense and the Chargers' offensive line. And what we saw in the wild card last year, a complete mismatch at the line of scrimmage.
That's it. Well, Seattle beats up on a lot of people. Woody Marks is back. Huge part of their offense. The Chargers, 18th in the NFL on offense since week 11 because their offensive line is using backups. 3 of the Chargers' 4 wins during their 4-game winning streak have come against the Raiders, Chiefs, and Cowboys. The Texans' defense.
To be fair, the Cowboys do have a really good offense. The Chiefs still had Mahomes in that game until the very, very end. To be fair, the Raiders are the only bad team in that bunch. And the Raiders played the Texans pretty well. I don't know if that's the great usage of a stat, but this is Texans defense on the road. 15 points per game allowed. Wow. Yards per game is 271st. Opponent passer rating 67. They have an overwhelming pass rush against offensive line matchup, for sure.
Is so good. Even on the road, it's dominating. Number 1 in the league. I'm taking the points. Texans 23, Chargers 21. Take the points.
I don't even know if it will be that high scoring, to be honest. I struggle to see how the Chargers are going to be able to move the ball beyond Herbert scrambling, the occasional run, and maybe a broken play or two. The Texans are so fundamentally sound in their defense. They have a really good pass rush that the Chargers have to be prepared for and get the ball fast. And then they have the secondary to cover like these Charger receivers. So to me, I think this is more of like a 20-16 Texans. That's just my personal feel. I would be genuinely surprised if the Texans lost by more than 4. Like, if the Texans lost 20-17, it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. Also, I don't know where he's getting 2.5 from. I can't find a 2.5 anymore. So that feels like a dead line. Like, it's going to be hard to find a 2.5, but that was available earlier in the week. I will say that. I'd still play Texans money line. I think that's a solid bet. I think I'll be on that myself. So I agree with Colin. This is a very good pick.
See,
hopefully, if you guys are watching this after the Texans game and the Texans lose, if they do, I don't look like an idiot. Hopefully, I just look like a genius there. Let me know in the comments if I did or not. Seahawks, Panthers. Okay, we'll see what we got here. This is interesting.
Hawks at Panthers.
I wish it was 7.5, but I'll take it at 7. Panthers at home, fighting to win the NFC South. 1-game lead over Tampa. I'm taking the points.
He did say he likes underdogs. I will say, I am genuinely surprised he's fading Seattle because he likes Seattle a lot. He likes Sam Darnold a lot. He's a big Sam Darnold guy. He's a big Seahawk guy. Pretty sure he's from Seattle, or Washington, at least. That's surprising. I like the Panthers, too. I like them at 7.5 as well. I'm with Colin here. I do like the Panthers. I'm not quite gutsy enough to know if I want to bet it yet. I'm really on the borderline. I haven't even recommended it yet. But I'm thinking it over. I might have to do it. If it's at 7.5 at like a reasonable price, I think I would take it. At 7, I don't know quite if there's the value, but I do feel like they could very well lose by 7 and you get your money back. But yeah, I like this pick. I think it's a good pick. I think this is going to be a defensive game. I think that the Panthers' defense and their secondary is going to be able to limit the big plays from JSN and the Seahawks passing game. Seattle is not a very good running team. I don't think they're going to be able to overwhelm or push over the Panthers in the run game. And the Panthers are a physical team on offense. They can run the football. They have been very good at home as dogs against the Rams. They beat the Packers on the road as dogs. They've been up for games. They get up for games, and they play with opponents. And we've seen that time after time. And the way that Sam's playing inconsistently, I do feel like if they get a turnover here, that all of a sudden turns the tide of the game. Panthers could get ahead. Who knows what happens at home. So just saying, I could see this one being very, very close. I'm with Colin. Let's see what he says.
Anybody noticing Bryce Young in the last month?
Playing pretty well.
Last 3 games, he's a Pro Bowler. 6 touchdowns, no picks. He's been on fire in the last 3 games. The Seahawks are coming off a tough physical overtime game. Season-high 92 defensive snaps against the Rams. The last 2 games they won, both at home by a combined 3 points. The offense for Seattle doesn't quite feel right. Mm-hmm. This is a long trip. For me. They could be looking ahead to the playoffs.
Yep.
Oh, just beat the Rams. We're amazing.
Yep.
Seattle wins.
Play the Niners next week.
I'm absolutely taking the points here. 27-23 Hawks.
Okay, pretty fundamental, pretty simple argument from Colin there. Nothing too crazy. I do think the biggest point is Sam Darnold, Seahawks O-line, the offense in general looks a little more found out, looks a little bit more uneven. It's definitely inconsistent. And if turnovers go the Panthers' way, which it did against the Rams, who knows what happens in this game. So I do think the Panthers are still a little underrated. And honestly, I didn't really move Seattle up in my mind positively after they beat the Rams. First of all, I didn't think it was that impressive for most of the game. They were trailing most of the game. And then second, I expected them to win that game in a very close, just divisional game. Like that's kind of what I expected. Seattle has had the rest advantage. That is one thing. And also Carolina's motivation, I don't think is like perfect here. Seattle actually probably has more motivation because if they win this week and next week, they get the 1 seed, similar to the 49ers. While the Panthers basically are only looking at the Bucs. If the Bucs lose to Miami, then sure, they're already in. But if the Panthers beat Seattle, I don't think it really matters in the long run. Like, they still have to beat the Bucs next week or else they're out, I think. I'm almost certain of that. So, yeah.
Eagles at Bills.
I'm in the minority. I like Philly plus 2.5. Great run team, bad run defense.
Where are you getting 2.5? But anyways, another false line from Colin, but that's okay. I like the Bills, so I disagree. This is the first pick I disagree with. First pick, I'm in full agreement. I think the Texans win. Outright, I'm with him 100%. Second pick, I'm on the border of betting it, but I'm leaning Panthers, so I'm with him. This pick, Eagles, I don't like it. I like the Bills here, especially if there is weather involved. I think Buffalo is the side. We'll see what Colin says.
They're 35-2 when they win the turnover battle under Nick Sirianni, 7-0 this year, and they usually do. Jalen Hurts the last 2.
That's not a good argument because I don't even think they will in this game. That's just like, yeah, if they win the turnover margin, like most teams win when that happens, but also like, what's the likeliness that's going to happen against the Bills in Buffalo? I don't know.
Weeks, something is working. Even Greg Cosell told us. Saquon Barkley, last 3 games, averaging 5.5 a carry. The O-line now getting healthy. Folks, the Bills have trailed in each of their last 8 games. They've trailed in the second half of 6 of their last 7. They play with their food.
Yeah.
They're not good on third down. The Bills can't defend the run. I'm taking the Eagles and the points. Better overall roster, 28-24 Philly.
Bears at 49.
Okay, hold on. I don't think the Eagles are good. Now, maybe you guys don't think the Bills are good, but I don't think the Eagles are good. They were trailing the Commanders at halftime. And then Marcus Mariota got hurt. They played the Raiders. Congratulations. They lost to the Chargers. They lost to the Bears. They lost to the Cowboys. 3 straight games. The Bills are better than the Cowboys, Bears, and Chargers. The Bills are better than the Commanders. They barely beat the Packers 10-7. Ugly game. They barely beat the Lions 16-9, who that's not looking as impressive at the moment. I think the Bills at home are really hard to beat. Josh Allen is by far the better quarterback. Bills have by far the better running game. Eagles have had weakness against the run lately. I don't know, man. I think the Bills are the team in Buffalo.
28-24 Philly.
Bears at 49ers.
I like Chicago with extra rest plus 3.
2 straight disagreements. I like the Niners.
DJ Moore and Caleb Williams, last 5 games. DJ Moore has 5 touchdown catches, tied for most in the league. The offense, you get all the big plays without any other turnovers. Listen, the Niners are hot, but 4 of their 5 wins came against Cleveland, Arizona, the Titans, and the Colts.
Yeah, it hasn't been pretty. I wouldn't say the Colts win was easy, though. The Colts were at home on Monday Night Football with their playoff life on the line. And it's not like the Colts are a bad team. I wouldn't call the Colts a bad team. I would actually look at the Bears and say, I think the Eagles game was impressive, but I just kind of said I don't think the Eagles are as good as people think. Otherwise, they beat the Packers with their backup quarterback, and they should have lost the game. They beat the Browns, like the Niners did. They lost to the Packers in Green Bay. They beat Mason Rudolph's Steelers. They beat the Vikings by 2 and were trailing. They beat the Giants by 4. And they beat the Bengals with Joe Flacco, 47-42. They lost to Tyler Huntley. And they beat the Commanders by 1. Like, there's not a lot of impressive wins here since week 5 for the Bears. I don't think they've actually played a team as good as the Niners. Outside of maybe the healthy Packers in Green Bay, and the Packers won. So I would make that argument. I think the Niners have the best offense that the Bears have played all season. I think the Niners can, at home, they're really hard to beat. And I think they're going to move the ball. And I think they can protect Purdy. I think they can run the ball. I think they can score points. I don't trust the Bears, and specifically Caleb Williams, to keep up. I think the Bears can run the ball decently, but I don't think that will be enough to beat the Niners in San Francisco in a shootout. I just don't see it. The last 2 weeks, the Niners have not punted the ball. They have not punted the ball in the month of December. Thomas Morstead is making jokes about it, right? They've scored 40 points 2 out of their last 5 games, and they scored 37 in one of their other games. And when you consider their primetime games, I mean, they beat the Rams in primetime. They beat the Falcons by 10 in primetime. They beat the Panthers by 11 in primetime, a team that's beat a lot of teams that supposedly was better than them. And that was a game where that should have been 30-9, but Purdy turned it over 3 times in the first half. Like, they're really good on primetime, too. And then you look at how they've played at home. I think they've only lost. They lost to the Rams with a very injured team, their backup quarterback. They lost to Jacksonville at home, again, with 4 turnovers to 0, and they lost by 5. And that was a game where Brock Purdy was coming off of that foot thing. So, I don't know, like, I kind of think the Niners are the better team, better offense. I think their defense will have more stops in their bag at home under Robert Saleh than the Bears will. Personally, I like the Niners more.
Brock Purdy trailing this year is a different quarterback. 63% completion percentage. And their defense, here's the story of the game.
The thing is, though, the Bears don't get a lot of leads. The Bears are always playing from behind. And also, that's a lot of those games. Well, Purdy did beat the Seahawks playing from behind, but he's been hurt in those games. So I don't know if I can really say that. I don't.
The Niners defense not only has the fewest sacks in the NFL, 7 fewer than the next fewest, and opposing quarterbacks have a passer rating of 101 against the Niners. Christian McCaffrey just came off a 27-touch game. The Niners are 0-4
4 games
off McCaffrey games where he's got 27 or more touches.
It's a small sample size.
Bears win it, take the points, 28-27.
I think the Niners win. 33-24.
Cardinals at Bengals.
I like the over 53.5. 29th ranked scoring defense against the worst ranked defense.
Fair. Can't deny this one.
Banged up defenses that are bad to begin with. The weather, it's going to be a little wet. Temperature not a factor. The Cardinals defense is bad and it's gotten worse. Allowed 40-plus points in 2 of their last 3 games. The Bengals,
4 of their last 7, too.
they're averaging 27 a game with Burrow. Mm-hmm. So you're talking about atrocious defenses, banged up. I like Cincinnati to win the game.
Josh Sweat's probably out for the Cardinals. Buda Baker's already out for the Cardinals. Joseph Osai is out for the Bengals. Yeah, that speaks for itself. Cardinals have been terrible on defense lately. They are allowing 40 points on the regular, like nobody's business.
Game, I think it's a bit of a shootout.
I think the Bengals get the lead. The Cardinals fight back. 34-21, something like that.
I'm going to take the over. Cincinnati, Arizona over 53.5 points. 30-27. Bengals win. So a lot of underdogs have not done that once this year.
Okay, so I agree with the Texans plus 2.5, although 2.5 is a fake number. I agree with the Panthers at plus 7. Thank you for taking the real number there, but 7.5 would be preferred for sure. 2.5 with the Eagles is a good number on Colin's part, but it's not real. 1 or 1.5 is more likely for the Bills. -1 or 1.5. I think I'm on the Bills, so I disagree with that pick. I like the Niners -3 rather than Bears +3, although I'd probably play the game in a different manner rather than laying the field goal. And then the Cardinals at Bengals over, I agree with that one. So, yeah, pretty good Blazin 5. I think he'll probably go 3-2. He'll probably go 3-2 this week. We'll see how it goes. Thank you guys for watching, man. I hope you appreciate this one. I hope you enjoy this one. If you did, Gronk spike the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you in the next one. Peace.